Hi guys, Lady Yoga here, and this is Yoga Quickies, the show where you tell us what you want out of your yoga or fitness routine, and we deliver it to you in 5 minutes or less. I'm very lucky to be in the great state of Indiana doing an Ayurveda basics workshop. We have 3 days where we start to really understand the deeper levels of the science of yoga. So yoga is a science and an art, and Ayurveda is the sister science where we go a little bit deeper into our yoga practice and really understand what's going on in our inner world. We've got those 5 elements that happen in nature, which is fire, water, earth, air, and space or ether. And within our own personal universe here, so we find that in nature and we also find that here, there are 3 constitutions. That's Kapha, which is earth and water, Pitta, which is fire and water, and Vata, which is air and ether or space. And so there's usually a little test that we take. There's tests online that you can take to find out which dosha or constitution you are. So you are one when you're born, and there's some other things that happen in your life where you might be out of balance. And that's why we like to take those tests, you know, as we start to get a little bit older to see where we might have some imbalances. So usually you'll talk to an Ayurvedic doctor to see what imbalances that you might have so that you can change up your routine a little bit. Hopefully you have a routine. And if you don't, we tell you a routine to have to keep yourself in balance. So especially in this day and age where things are a little bit hectic all around us in the outside world, and as we speed up technologically, things are getting to be a little bit more hectic in our own nuclear world with our friends, our families, our work. We're overextended, and it's really, really more important than ever to find the routine in your daily life. So Dinacharya is sort of your healthy physical hygiene routine, and then your sadhana is more of your spiritual routine. They're sort of interchanged a little bit, and there's some theories on that one, but Dinacharya is a Sanskrit word for your healthy hygiene routine that you do every day. You already do it every day, right? You wake up, you brush your teeth, you take the dog out, you wake your kid up, that kind of thing. And this is the routine that you'll want to start doing. We'll do the speed version because Yoga Quickies is 5 minutes. And then we'll talk a little bit about your spiritual routine. And this doesn't mean necessarily going on the mat or going to the gym or having your meditation. It's just all putting it together in a routine for you that's accessible. So a lot of gurus will give you that routine, and it's great if you've got that, but this is just level 101, where you can just find that routine for you, even if you've got 5 minutes. So my basic Dinacharya routine, we'll put 5 minutes on the clock. This is my Vata, I'm air, right? Pitta, fire, Kapha is the earth and water. Okay, so when I wake up, I get up, I snuggle my dog a little bit, I go into the bathroom, and I take my tongue scraper. Hold on, this is my Vata, hold on. So your tongue scraper, my students are gonna love this because I really am a little on the Vata side. Okay, so you'll take a stainless steel, you can get this on Amazon, Banyan Botanicals is my favorite, a little plastic thing at the base, and you'll wanna do this, you know, anywhere between 10 and 20 times. You'll just stick your tongue out, and then take this to the very back of the throat or the back of the tongue as much as you can. I'm not really doing this. And you'll scrape, and you'll see this like funky film. You'll scrape, not too hard, but just enough to get that film off, rinse. Get that film off, rinse. Get that film off, rinse. Do that a bunch of times. And then what I do in this order is take a cup of warm water, actually just from the tap, and just drink it down. Some people actually like to just go into the other room, heat up the kettle, get some warm water, maybe put a little cayenne in it, maybe a little bit of lemon and honey, and drink that down. And that just starts the peristalsis happening. You have a little BM. It's always good to have that in the morning. And then you'll want to do some oil pulling. So you'll just get some good old sesame oil, or there's some oil pulling oil that's specific to your dosha. You can also get that at Banyan Botanicals or on Amazon. It's just an oil that you'll want to swish like you would, you know, Act or Listerine, and you'll swish it around for anywhere between, if you're just starting out, a couple minutes is good, 5 to 15 minutes, and just swoosh it, swoosh it, swoosh it. Check your text messages, watch a little bit of TV. No, just try to be mindful when you're doing it. The first couple times you might want to spit a little bit of it out. You can just get that cold pressed sesame oil right online or at Whole Foods if you can, and just swish it around. And then the last bit will be a little white and funky. And then you can take a little bit more hot water and just kind of swish around, brush your teeth. And that's that first part. That's that oral hygiene. And then you'll want to take your neti pot and fill it up with distilled water. What I usually do is take water, put it in a kettle, boil it, and allow it to sit. That's mine for the week, right? And I'll just put it in there with some sea salt. You don't want to go too far. You just want to go a little bit with a tiny spoon if you can get one of those. And you'll want to, over the sink, because you don't want to do this over your dog or over your computer, is just pour and tilt at the same time. Close off with the back of your tongue so it doesn't go down the throat. And it'll come out the other end. And this is a great way, both of these are a great way to open up the sinuses, open up the throat. It also helps with, you know, relaxing with the gums, the oral and this. And so 3 times each side is good for basic. And then you can blow your nose out a little bit. You can also gargle with some water after that. And I know there's going to be people out there that are like, no, this is not what I do. Okay, well, just start slow. Start a little bit slower. And then you'll want to take that same sesame oil that you used. You can also get what's called Nasaya oil, or make your own with the sesame oil and some very, very little bit of essential oils like lavender or eucalyptus, and just infuse it a little bit in your oil. And you can take a dropper and just drop it down. I would lay down and do this, like 3 or 4 in one nostril, 3 or 4 in the other, and just allow it to, this is great for traveling too, just to open up the sinus passages. This communication is great. Even if you just kind of rub it a little bit in your nose is great. I like to do it on the plane right underneath my nose with some eucalyptus, so I'm kind of breathing it the whole time on an airplane. And that's a simple way to just open up. You'll feel clear in the head. You'll feel clear in the throat. The stuff with the oral is really great for lockjaw. It's great for the gums. It's just great for the teeth. It's a great little thing to start doing. If you're cough after you take your test, the Garshana is a great dry brush technique that you'll want to do daily. It really stimulates those acupressure points or nadis, those little energy centers on the body. And you can use a dry brush. You would do this in the bathroom, maybe in the shower, and start, really you can start with your limbs, the upper limbs or the lower limbs, and you'll want to just go in circular directions all the way up. And be mindful, really get all those little yummy spaces in circular directions. And you want to start from the lower all the way up towards the heart, right? It's good. And go soft around the joints in circles. Oh, I'm going to need more than 5 minutes, timer. More than 5 minutes. This is the bonus round. All the way up towards the heart. And you can even do this on your chest, on your back, if you got the one with the stick. You definitely want to get the back. And this is just going to release the dead skin cells on the body, and it's also going to stimulate the lymph, right? Which is the lymphatic system is great for it helps to release all those toxins out of our body. You know, and then for those people that are more leaning towards the Vata and the Pitta side, will maybe want to use oil, and this is called Abhyanga. And really you can use it interchangeable. If you take that test online and you find out what your dosha is, what you want to do is, in Ayurveda, like attracts like. So Pitta people like me, I'm balanced between Pitta, not balanced at all, Pitta and Vata. You know, I'm definitely attracted to all those fiery and airy things, right? So you'll take your oil and you'll just rub it in your hands and go around your hands. You'll do this with a dry brush too, but not really with the hands here. And you can just milk through the fingers here. And the same thing you would do in your Garshana. So you'd want to around the joints and then just nice sweeps. I actually tell some of my people to do like affirmations here. Say your mantra, or if you're not into Sanskrit mantras, you can just say, you know, I am loved, I am cared for, I am beautiful. And so you'll, again, want to just do those sweeping long motions around the bones, the longer parts of our body. When you get to the navel area, you'll want to do circular motions around the navel. That's just going to help stimulate those little nadis. And sometimes we can go in the opposite direction. That's going to help break up some blockages, but really just focus on doing those circular directions. I like to do this part laying down, where you can actually massage right where the liver and the spleen is. And I'm actually starting to hear some little noises happening, so that's always good. And the same thing for the back of the body. So you want to sweep up towards the heart, like you're giving yourself a backwards hug. And all of those things, even though it was taking me a little bit longer to explain, you can do your dinacharya 5 minutes. You can do your abhyanga and your garshana in 5 minutes. If you have longer to give you that self-care and self-love, I like to spend some time on my ears here. And I actually do the abhyanga part of my dinacharya at night, and the head is super important. Getting right up into the scalp. It's great for the hair, yo. Right at the occipital bone, those two little bony parts at the base of the skull. Right at your traps, that space that's between the front and the back of the shoulders. Oh my gosh, so good. And then if you do that, and the feet too, so important. So you got your spine line, your organ lines is here, spine line back here, and just really just rub in circles, circular direction. I even get right into the toes this way. I web the toes. That freaks people out, but I like to do that. Right, so you can do this in 5 minutes. If you got 5 minutes, feet, ears, hands, that's good. If you've got that time, maybe at night before your bath or shower, it's great, and it'll help really relax you before you sleep. And then, you know, if you've got that time for the abhyanga, I put that portion at night. The neti pot and the oil pulling, that part I do in the morning with the tongue scraping. And then I do a little bit of asana, so a few yoga poses just to get myself moving. Then I sit and I do some pranayama, anything that I need to focus on that day. So pranayama is that breath or energy control. And then I'll meditate. I'll take some time to meditate, anywhere between 20 minutes and an hour if I've got the time. And then in that silence, that time that I wake up, usually between 5 and 6, I'll just free write. Just see what comes up, see what's coming out, coming in, coming out. And really, it doesn't even make sense half of the time because I'm still waking up. But it's a great way to just get things out and be really clear for the day. So I know that was like a yoga quickies bonus, but hopefully that'll help you start the routine. You can always ask questions. All my information is down below. But start small, especially if you're very new to the idea of dinacharya, that healthy hygiene. It's really a self-love, self-care kind of thing that we should be doing every single day. Even if you're traveling and don't have all your tools with you, you can find ways to improvise. And a little bit of time to really just take it down a notch and meditate, breathe, and take time to take care of you. If you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anything else. Am I right? I can't hear you. Okay. Thanks guys so much for Yoga Quickies. I'm Lady Yoga. Subscribe below. Let us know what you need to know. Namaste.